You're here. I'm here. Let's start. Today we are covering build number 7 as part of our Willow Creek Stories. So you may have seen that I am doing a little bit rebranding of this name. Originally it was the Forever Save file, but considering it's really more focused on the families and the stories, we're going to go that direction. Like all of the other houses in this neighborhood, they are of course the New Orleans sort of theme to them. So very, Southern American. And I do use images as my initial inspiration for the shell, but I was really sort of struggling with the size of this one. So I didn't want it to be too big, but considering all of the other houses had been much smaller, I did want this to be substantial and feel like a real family home. And there is a very specific family that I made this for. I'm not sure if you will be able to guess, or you'll just have to wait and see when the video comes out of who's moving in here. But I would love to hear your thoughts because maybe you're right. So go ahead and put it in the comments if you think you know. Funny enough, this build took me so long. I don't know if I was just very uninspired or just demotivated or what was going on, but this video had the most amount of recordings done. I think this was done over maybe like 4 or 5 separate sessions, and I just really kind of struggled here. Part of it was a lot of my previous builds had been budget builds, which means I would say, hey, you know what? We're only going to work with 10K or 20K or 35K, and that's it. But with this one, I think because I did have a very specific family in mind, I very quickly had to abandon that and be like, I just need to build this out, story ready, move-in ready, so that way I don't have to touch things up too much to make it feel very lived in and very real. It does take me a little bit longer sometimes to get through these builds the way I feel like they should be done. And like I said, especially since I'm working with an image of a shell, well, an image of a house, so I'm only have a guide for the exterior. I gotta make up the internal layout and decor all on my own. A lot of times one of the first rooms I will work on in a build is the kitchen. The kitchen, of course, is important. Your Sims will not survive without one. So I think that's why I tend to start here, because it's a very big necessity of let's do the kitchen and get it out of the way. And I think kitchens are actually one of my favorite builds. Adding the little details and just making it super cute and livable. Next we've moved on to the dining room. Since this is a Willow Creek Stories house, we do have a separate dining room in this instance because it is a larger house. So we just want to make sure it feels very open and welcoming. In the living room, we just want to add some basic necessities. So of course the TV, you've got to have a bookshelf, a couch, right? Just a nice place to lounge and really relax. I added in the fake fireplace. The family here is fairly well off, but not rich enough to have afforded a proper fireplace. But the desire to have one is certainly there for decorating for the holidays and really just bringing up the feel of the room. In this bathroom, of course, we have both a tub and a shower. A lot of times I do try to do smaller bathrooms and really maximize the space, but this one felt right to have both in there. Then we gotta have towels, of course. In this little loft area, originally I did have it sectioned off, but I feel like the space flowed a lot better if it was just sort of an open landing that could be used as the study space. So of course we've got our desk, we've got our computer, our bookshelf, and some minor decorations to just help fill it up. Then we move on to the bedroom. We've got a double bed, a mirror, a wardrobe, and just some extra details again to make it feel a little bit more lived in. I had a lot more fun with the child's room overall, since there are a lot more activities and decorations. It was just a little bit easier to enjoy this room and kind of get into the details and the little things that make it feel real. I had a lot of fun putting these stickers on the wall. That's always a fun thing for kids to do, even though they're not supposed to, is to put some stickers on the wall and kind of hide them. This house does have an additional bedroom, but considering the family that will be occupying this house, they don't really have a significant use for it yet. So they've got some old baby stuff in there, clothes, storage, just generally a large closet that they are using. And who knows, maybe the way their lives go and things change, maybe this will be used for something else. In the basement, some workout equipment. The laundry room will be down there. This is also the first build where I have included laundry. It does get a little bit tedious sometimes because the Sims just like to leave their clothes everywhere, and then you've got piles and hampers overflowing. When we get into the playing of this family, I don't know how long this will stick around. I might get fed up with it. This is actually my first build that I have included a basement in for the Willow Creek story. I've built basements before. I tend to forget about them, but I did put one in this time. A detached garage, which is kind of used as another storage space, but really just more for the realism of it all. You know, this type of house would have a garage. I didn't put any debug cars in there, but the decorations are fine. You can find this house in the gallery under El Mas if you were interested in using it in your own save file. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.